And if at the end of the 3 days you deem them to be safe, are they allowed to leave?
Yes.
And is there something in the field of psychiatry or in your training and experience in your time at McLean about being discharged against medical advice?
He wasn't discharged AMA.
We'll allow set the really the terms and where we are, so you can go into that.
AMA is not applicable.
If we can approach...
Yeah, I don't think you heard me.
I did hear you.
All right, well then, I'm going to allow that question. There, your rights are saved.
My objection.
Yeah, I've noted it. Go ahead, counsel.
Thank you.
I think we tend not to do against medical advice, because if we are concerned about somebody's safety, we would not discharge them.
So you have another procedure available to you if you were concerned for somebody's safety?
Yes.
And that's the procedure you described about seeking an order for further commitment?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Now, when a person comes and goes through that process and is placed on their unit and settled in, what is the plan after that? How often do they see providers?
They're assessed by a psychiatrist every single day that they're there. They have nurses who are checking in with them, mental health workers. They're offered group programming and medical monitoring, vital signs. Yeah.
What types of group programming are offered to people while they're inpatient at McLean?
We offer skills groups, which are things like they're meant to teach patients skills so that they can tolerate distress, they can kind of observe their thoughts. It's meant to shore up their skills. Then there are some groups which are more just relaxed, I guess, such as going for fresh air walks or going to the recreation center, just drawing or coloring, and yeah.
And are there other things offered to patients once they're on a unit to assist them in their care, like counseling?
Yeah, those are the check-ins, and when they meet with the psychiatrist and the social worker, the counseling happens in those sessions as well, and also by the nurses and the mental health staff.
Okay. Now, does this procedure, or how it operates for any given patient, does it change if there's a holiday or a weekend?
I think they're still seen by a psychiatrist.
She's thinking, if she knows, I have no objection. I'm going to object to the way she's answering that.
All right. Why don't you rephrase the question?
I will, thank you. As far as your experience at McLean Hospital, does the schedule change when there's a weekend or a holiday?
The group schedule might change, but the staffing schedule doesn't change.
So the availability and the mental health worker that sees the patient, the social worker that checks in, and the psychiatrist and nurse, the team all stays the same even on a weekend or a holiday?
Other than the social worker.
Okay. And when I say stay the same, it could be different individuals, but
Correct.
It's somebody from that group, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So as far as your role as a psychiatrist, how do you get assigned patients when they are admitted to McLean Inpatient?
It's random. There are beds that are open, and I carry a certain number of patients, and other psychiatrists have a certain number of patients, and whoever has an opening gets the admission.
Do you have to be there when the patient is admitted to have the patient assigned to you?
No.
And so do you rely on other psychiatrists to perform those tasks before you meet a patient?
Yes.
I'm going to draw your attention to a particular patient by the name of Lindsay Clancy that arrived at McLean in the early morning hours of January 1st of 2023. Do you recall that patient?
Yes.
Have you had the ability to review the records related to that patient prior to coming in today?
Yes.
And do you know where she came from?
The emergency department at MGH.
Okay. And did she come voluntarily, or did she come on some sort of section?
Again, for transportation, it's always a section, but then she signed in voluntarily, which is the section 10.
Okay. So to your knowledge, she was brought in the early morning hours via ambulance?
Correct.
And did she go through that process of the clinical evaluation center in the early morning hours, approximately 4 a.m. on the 1st?
Yes.
And who saw her there?
I think the psychiatrist's name was Dr. Outlaw.
Okay, and you're familiar with Dr. Jasmine Outlaw?
I've never met her.
Okay, but she is a psychiatrist on
Correct.
staff.
I don't know what you mean by on staff.
Well, she works at McLean.
Correct.
And so you were able to review the information she gathered in that first evaluation.
Yes.
And in reviewing that information, did you identify that the patient was identified as medically stable, right? Meaning she didn't have any acute medical issues that you had to worry about?
Correct.
And she was screened on the suicide screening.
Correct.
What was the chief complaint of the patient when she arrived at McLean?
She was unhappy. She was finding it hard to sleep if she didn't take medications.
Okay. And do you recall reviewing in the records that it was noted that she reported that she felt numb?
Yes.
And that she was having some issues managing medication?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Well, that she had some complaints about side effects or symptoms of medication.
Yes.
Now, when the psychiatrist and the clinical evaluation center gathered the information, fair to say that it's primarily based on what's reported to the doctor by the patient?
Yes.
At McLean, do you have access to a patient's full psychiatric history or all of their records from other places?
It depends where the patient is coming from. I think that Dr. Outlaw did take an excerpt of the APS evaluation that was done at MGH, so I assume that she had access to that.
I'm sorry. Assumptions? I'd like.
I mean,
I
she
can
would
ask
have
it a
had.
different way.
She doesn't know, she doesn't know.
Yeah.
All right?
As far as the full record of this particular patient that you were assigned to and responsible for, you reviewed all of the notes and information gathered by Dr. Outlaw on that first interaction with the patient, correct?
Yes.